Hello, this is Dylan Miller on Daily Dose. Google Podcast, Spotify, Spreaker, or iHeart Radio. This is Dylan Miller on Daily Dose. Alright. So, we actually I'm doing a double today. But, we got good stuff today. I'll talk about the Hawks, Bucks series. I'm gonna tell you who I think is a 1 and who I think is 2. And I will also talk about the Suns heading to the finals. Okay, so I'm going to start off with Giannis getting injured. And a lot of the reaction is, so Giannis and Trae Young are both going to be out tonight for Game 5. And I said before, like when the series was going, I was like, if Young and Giannis go out, the series isn't very watchable. You know, but, you know, a lot of the reaction is, oh, it's not fair, you know, the season shouldn't count. It's, injuries. It's the condensed season. Why don't we slow down? There's a lot of excuses. The last 2 years, there's been excuses for why the two finals shouldn't count. And unfortunately for me, that doesn't make sense to me. Because this year, you should give credit. This year, it came down to who the healthiest team was. And the healthiest the team so far is the Suns. That's why I think they're probably going to win the finals. Because they're the healthiest team so far. They had one hiccup with Chris Paul for 2 games. So the Suns, give them credit, they're staying healthy, you know. And some of the injuries that have happened this year they happen a lot. Anthony Davis, I feel like, gets injured every year, you know. And, you know, we had to have the condensed season if we wanted to get back on track for, like, a real NBA season next year. You know, we had to have a condensed season. I mean, normally we would know who the NBA champion is by now. We would be starting free agency. In 2019, at this point, this was day 2 of free agency. The Raptors had just won, and all those signings had just happened. You know, Kyrie, Harden, and Jordan, they signed with the Nets. You know, there was all that stuff. Really, all the stars signed on the first day, and then Kawhi took the whole week. But, you know, we had to do this condensed season in order to get back on track. But like I said, some of them aren't even the condensed season. It's like AD, he gets injured a lot. KD gets injured a lot too. KD gets injured more than people want to admit, actually. Kyrie has gotten injured a lot, you know. It's just people that get hurt normally sometimes. But obviously, like Harden, you know, like the problem with AD really was that he tried to play himself into shape because the season kind of started abruptly. You know, like, they ended the season and then boom, it was like, oh, we're coming back in 2 months. You know, AD had to play himself into shape. And I feel like Harden did a similar thing. You know, he wasn't working out, he got out of shape, and, you know, he tried playing himself back into shape, which he did pretty well, actually. But, you know, it was, you know, Harden hardly ever gets injured. You know, there are definitely victims of a condensed season. But, you know, we have to slow down on saying the condensed season isn't fair. Because, first of all, it had to happen. And you got to give the other teams, you have to give the Suns and other teams credit for staying healthy this long. Like, they shouldn't have for the condensed season. All right, so Charles Barkley criticized the false narrative that PG is criticized more than other players. And he's right. You know, a lot of stars get criticized. LeBron got criticized until he won a championship. And then he still gets criticized today for not winning enough championships and losing too much, you know? Harden's going to get criticized until he wins a championship. KD was still criticized after he won a championship. MJ was criticized before he won a championship. You know, he's right. You got to win a championship if you don't want to have criticism. And I mean, PG, he does get criticized a lot. He gets ripped. I honestly see criticism as kind of a badge of honor. And, like, I feel like criticism is, like, relevance. Like, if you're being heavily criticized, like LeBron and PG, you're relevant. You know, it's a badge of honor, really. Like, Baker Mayfield has his critics, and, you know, he's in a lot of commercials. Like, these athletes get paid off your criticism. CP3 has been criticized a lot. He's in every other State Farm commercial. You know, criticism is popularity. So, I mean, if I were PG, I wouldn't be too worried. I'd honestly encourage people to keep criticizing me. And I mean, he kind of did it to himself. You know, giving himself the nickname Playoff P. That was kind of stupid. But he did it to himself. And I think criticism of their game is kind of a badge of honor in a way. Alright, so the Lakers... what is it? Apparently, they're finalizing a deal to hire David Fizdale as an assistant. Now, they got a lot of question marks. A lot of free agent targets. You don't know what you're getting with Anthony Davis. You don't know if he's going to be healthy or if he's going to be... And you know, when he's healthy, he's an MVP candidate. When he's healthy. Problem is, he's not healthy every other year. Like, every other year, there's an injury. You know, there's a lot of question marks here. You don't know if Frank Vogel's going to survive. And, the good news for the Lakers with David Fizdale is, he's liked around the league. And, LeBron likes him, too. He's respected by LeBron, which is a plus there as his assistant. And, like, it's important that, you know, the star player likes you. You know, like, that was a problem with Jason Kidd. And it's not like LeBron didn't like him, but he didn't like him like he likes, what's his face? Jason Kidd. You know, but it's not about hiring the Lakers, but I'm just saying there's a lot of question marks going on there. So, Dak said that 2021 is going to be a very special year for the Cowboys. Very, very special. Very special, guys. Here is the problem for these guys. Alright. So, I don't think you can build, teams off of, contracts. Off of paying B-plus players big contracts. You can't pay a B player, A-plus money. Let's look at some championship teams real quick. The Chiefs. Alright, they're a championship team. So, here's their largest contracts. Their 6 largest contracts. Tyreek Hill, he's an A player. Travis Kelce is an A+. Chris Jones is an A. Joe Tooney is an A-. Frank Clark is a B+, probably. Patrick Mahomes, A+. So there's, Frank Clark is someone they need. So, paying him a lot, I don't have a problem with, as long as that's the only guy you're paying a lot to. As long as that's the only B+ guy you're paying a lot to, I'm fine with it. But look at this. They're paying an A. They're paying an A+. They're paying an A. They're paying an A-, and they're paying another A+. So, they do a great job. They pay the right people, the Chiefs. That's what you gotta do. You gotta pay the right people. And let's look at another team, the Seahawks. The Seahawks, their largest contracts, Jamal Adams, I'm going to say, is an A. Gabe Jackson's like a B+. Dwayne Brown's like a B+. Bobby Wagner's an A. Tyler Lockett's an A-. Russell Wilson's an A+. So, they're not doing as good a job as the Chiefs are, but, they also don't spend as much money on these players as the Chiefs do. Like, the Chiefs, their 6th highest paid player makes $54 million. The Seahawks' 6th highest paid player, the Seahawks, 3rd highest paid player makes $54 million. So they're not paying as many, they're not paying as much. They're not paying as much money to these B+ guys as the Chiefs are. They're not paying Gabe Jackson or Dwayne Brown as much as they're paying as much as the Chiefs are paying Frank Clark. So those two teams do a good job of paying their money. The Cowboys, let's look at them. They got Zach Martin, who's maybe an A-. Zeke Elliott, who's like a B+, he's declining. Tyron Smith, who's like an A-. Cooper, who's like an A-, B+. DeMarcus Lawrence, who's like a B+. And Dak, who's like a B+, A-. So they don't pay any A players. And their 6th highest paid guy, $84 million. That's a lot to pay a B+, A- player. You can't win with that much. Salary cap football does not. They're not paying the right people. And they are not doing a good job working their salary right now. And they're always an okay team, The problem is they're using too much money on the wrong people. Alright, so Brian Windhorst said that he doesn't know how excited people would be to play with Luka. And he has a little James Harden to him where he's ball dominant. And the late Kobe Bryant would say that James Harden's style of play doesn't work in the playoffs, ball dominance doesn't work in the playoffs. It could get you a lot of points in the regular season and can maybe get you an MVP or two, but it's not going to get you a championship. So, if you're gonna, I don't know. See, Luka can be, and obviously, so, he's ball dominant, and, you've seen him argue with the refs. He can be a little feisty, so I can see how it can be a little difficult. I think he could be similar to Chris Paul, although Chris Paul's not ball dominant. Chris Paul's feisty, and he's a little difficult to people, but it works for him,